Well, I'm on the farm today and I've got the Hesston, if you can see it, the Hesston 1110 hooked up to the John Deere, and I'm going to pull it out of the weeds and put it into the field. Just kind of looking it over here. The tires have got air. I'll gauge them up here in just a little bit. And the only hesitation I got is this hydraulic hose it's in pretty bad shape, but if it'll work, that'll be fine. Let me put some oil to this thing and a little bit of grease, and see what we can do. All right, everything's greased, as greased as I can get it, and ready to go. Took care of a bee nest up under that hood. There's probably more in there. This is a noisy machine. The way the sickle drive, I think there might be another bee nest down in there somewhere, but I won't get too close. But the way this thing works, and it's a half sway bar, and this thing right here pivots right up in there and goes back and forth like that, and that's what drives that sickle back and forth on this mower. It's an extremely simple arrangement, and I rebuilt that one time in there, new bearings, and so it was a pretty simple thing. But let me give it a try. The only thing that can happen is you know, something big breaks, and what we got is an old piece of scrap metal. But I've mowed a lot of hay with this Hesston 1110 and the John Deere 348, so I'm just going to do this half of the field. Not going to cut a lot of hay here today, and I'll come back. Alright, I thought I'd get off the tractor and just kind of take a look-see at how it's going. And some places it's thick, right in here and up along through there, and back over there, and it's always thin right up along the top. But every now and then it'll kick a little grass over the top, and I'm starting to get late in the day. I can feel the dew coming in, but this is a pretty good Haybine, for lack of a better word, mower conditioner. I used to say this is what New Holland never built and should have built, with the half sway bar. The roller, it's a steel roller on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that or not. The bottom is a steel roller and the top is a rubber roller, and it crimps versus crushing, and it's a very effective with stems. It's very effective. I don't know if it's doing much to these leaves, but seems to be cutting clean across. Knock on wood, I'll say this and it'll happen, but I haven't plugged it yet. I started out at in low range second gear, and that was about 2.5 miles an hour, and I've picked it up to third gear low range, and that's like 3 3/4 miles an hour. It's not quite 4 miles an hour, so pretty good clip with grass that's starting to get damp. And I don't know how much more I'll go. I'd like to finish this little spot right in here, but 7-foot cut versus 9-foot on my crone, and you know, 3 3/4 miles an hour versus 7 miles an hour on my, when I run my Massey on my crone, which makes this field get done lickety split. But I just felt like running the old Hesston and the John Deere today, and kind of throw it back to a simpler time in some ways. And so I'm gonna keep going, and I'll come back. Alright, I thought I'd get off here and just kind of look things over a little bit. The Hesston, knock on wood, is doing magnificently. Grass looks pretty good too. I don't know that this is horse quality hay. It's got some horse nettle, it's got a little bit of horse nettle in it, but there's like little pockets of foxtail. But there's other people that buy a nice, this is really third cutting hay. Knock on wood, the Hesston is just sawing right through it. It's slow compared to the crone, but just a nice cool day out here, and kind of breezy, so I'm enjoying the open station tractor on the Hesston. You know, it's not against the law to enjoy farming. So let me get back at it. to cut on this half of the east field, and took about an hour and 45 minutes. And I tell you, that mower did a fine job right there. Everything's all shined up now, and I didn't have any clogs. It's funny because on a sickle Haybine, whether it's a Hesston or a New Holland, when the hay goes up the apron towards the rolls, it's like a cone. When you're looking from the tractor seat, you're looking for the hay to be just a layer of hay looking like that, laying all the way across there, except it's moving. It's not just laying there, and that tells you that really there's no problems. You're just cutting along as you should be, and so it feeds into the rolls, you know, just like that. And I never understood on a disc mower conditioner where you have rollers, you know, if you see videos of the hay coming off of the blades on a disc mower, it's turned in all kinds of directions. But you know, I've taken stems off of these rolls on first cutting. There's the steel roll. Right up there's the rubber roll. But you could see a crimp like every 2 inches all the way down the length, if that was the stem, all the way down the length of the stem, because it fed into the rollers just like that and went out the back. So, but I guess they work. The rollers, without a doubt, work, even on a disc bind. But on a hay bind, the way it feeds into them, I think it's especially effective. And the dry down on this Hesston is as good as the Krone. The Krone might be a little bit better. It's got flails, and if you're new to the channel, you can go back and look at some of the videos with the Krone. The skid shoes down here, it has 2 skid shoes, one on each side, and you can put one down the center. And this is a 8110, and the 9-foot version was the 8120. And Case IH had the same Haybine, but Hesston made them for Case IH. And they would have been, the 7-foot would have been the 8320, and the 9-foot would have been the 8330. I believe I've got that right. But this has been a great machine on this farm. It's just slow. It does a nice job. It's always done a nice job. I've never really had a lot of trouble with it plugging. And you know, we moved up to the disc mower conditioner to kind of speed things up. And be able to cut, you know, after a rain. Sometimes I've even cut hay, you know, when it was sprinkling a little bit, where it would jam this thing up. So sometimes, you know, you might be in the evening and everything's just kind of soaking wet, or early in the morning, for whatever reason you need to cut at that hour. The disc mower conditioner, I believe you could mow in the snow with that thing, but not so much with this. But if you got time, and you know, if you got time and the hay's dry, I mean, a Haybine is an effective tool, without a doubt. And I go back to, you know, on this farm, my great-grandfather, there's some mowing size around here that we think that he would have used back in his day. He probably later on had a horse-drawn sickle mower, but you know, the advancement from a, it's easy to hear, it's easy in the present day to criticize this machine and a sickle barn mower, but you know, if you think back when people used a mowing scythe to cut a field and a sickle mower came along, that was like a miracle machine. And a Haybine was a great advancement in the day, and with the rollers and you know, crimping the hay and crushing it in order to increase the dry down. And so they're still effective, and we have a sickle mower we use from time to time. It was a nice day today. It's cool and breezy. The clouds were, waited a long time today before I cut, because the weather guessers said it was going to be basically blue skies, but there were storm clouds gathering all afternoon, and I wasn't so sure I wanted to cut, but in the end I did, and things have kind of cleared off. I think I'm in the clear. I think we're going to have a heavy dew tomorrow, but maybe if we got a breeze all night, it won't be that way. But we'll get this baled up. I may cut that tomorrow, the other half of this field, and I might just go ahead and use this thing while I got it hooked up, and then we'll set about trying to bale this hay, and that we'll be done with this field for the year. So that's a video. Hope you enjoyed it. Third cutting basically on this field. The last cut we made was in July, and here we are getting towards the end of August. I don't know what the day is, but we're getting close to the end of August. But the John Deere 5055D, the backbone of this farm, the Hesston 1110 mower conditioner with steel and rubber rolls, and just did a fantastic job once again with this hay. And some places it's thin, and some places it's just like really heavy, like right here. So I'll be in here tomorrow with a tedder, and I'll get it tedded out and see where we stand, and see where I missed with the cutter bar. So hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll talk to you later.